Hello, everyone, and welcome to Brick's Final Thoughts. Today, I would like to be talking about something I've never talked about before, and that's the WEC and Jon Jones. Now, some of my favorite points I've ever made on the show are about Jon Jones, my favorite fighter possibly to ever live. And when I was organizing my thoughts for this one segment, I tried to find in the UFC history who is the most impressive and dangerous man. Because we have guys like Khabib nowadays who have very modern fighting style, ground and pound wrestling, very smart. But I was trying to find who's the most dangerous, who's the most violent champion in the UFC. Now, I got to the point where I thought, Chuck Liddell. Chuck Liddell was an absolute animal, right? Chuck Liddell was the first real star of the UFC. He became an absolute spectacle in the UFC, an absolute spectacle. Now, Chuck Liddell was the light heavyweight king for a long time, kind of back and forth, incredible career. The guy honestly was just a dog. He put the BA in bang. He put the raw in brawler. And I think that is why Jon Jones is so great. Now, let me get to that. So, Chuck Liddell, as much of a legend as he was, just the king of the UFC at that point, he was the king of a company that was worth around $3 million at the time in the early 2000s, late 1990s. And Jon Jones is now the number one pound-for-pound fighter and possibly the greatest fighter in a company that's worth probably over $5 or $6 billion. So there's a bit of a staggering difference there. What I'd like to get to is that Chuck Liddell lost to Quentin Rampage Jackson twice. He lost to Shogun Rua. Now, when I saw that, I was like, okay, yeah, you know what? I can't really go with Chuck Liddell anymore because he's lost these fights, and anytime someone loses fights, it takes away from their stock of being the most dominant champion. Now, let's see. Who has beaten Shogun Rua and Quentin Rampage Jackson? Also Rashad Evans. Also Chael Sonnen. Also Lyoto Machida. Also Daniel Cormier twice. Who won the heavyweight belt when he was just 21 years old, becoming the youngest UFC champion of all time? That's Jon Jones. I will always and forever stick with my opinion of, at least until 2019, Jon Jones is the most impressive, strong, talented, and vicious fighter to ever step foot in the professional octagon. Change my mind. Change it.